This story is based on a disturbing real case that took place in Spain decades ago. What you're about to hear isn't a ghost story. There are no haunted houses, no demons, no monsters hiding in the dark. Just people. And sometimes that's far more terrifying. In the winter of 1970, a respected physician lived in a quiet neighborhood on one of Spain's islands. She was known for being calm, rational, and skeptical. The kind of man who believed every mystery had a logical explanation. At the time, she employed a 15-year-old girl named Sofia. Sofia worked as a maid in his home. She was quiet, polite, and extremely reserved. In the months she had worked there, she had almost never spoken about her family. The doctor assumed she simply came from a difficult background and never pushed for details. Then, one afternoon, everything changed. There was a knock at the front door. When the doctor opened it, he found two men standing outside. One was middle-aged. The other appeared to be in his early 20s. Both looked exhausted. Their clothes were dirty. Their shoes were covered in mud. The older man introduced himself as Sofia's father. The younger one claimed to be her brother. They said they needed to speak with her immediately. The doctor called Sofia from the kitchen. The moment she saw the two men, something strange happened. Her face lost all color. Not fear, not surprise. It was something else. Almost as if she had been expecting them. The three moved towards the front entrance to talk privately. The doctor returned to his office. At least that was his intention. But something about the visitors bothered him. Their appearance, their expressions, the strange way Sofia had reacted. Minutes later, while passing through the hallway, he accidentally overheard part of their conversation. At first, he thought he misunderstood. Then he heard it again. The younger man was speaking calmly, almost casually, as if discussing the weather. He said, "We took care of your mother." There was silence. Then he continued, "And your sisters." The doctor's blood ran cold. The girl didn't scream. She didn't cry. She didn't ask why. Instead, she quietly replied, "If that's what had to be done, then I understand." Listen to this, which came out from Sofia's mouth. The doctor froze. Every instinct in his body told him something was horribly wrong. The conversation continued. The father spoke next. He explained that certain people had to be removed so their souls could be purified. The younger man occasionally interrupted. Every time he spoke, the others immediately fell silent. It was as tough. He was the leader, not the father, the son. It was actually very tough for the doctor to believe that the son was certain kind of a leader. The doctor stepped away from the door. His hands were shaking. He immediately called the police. When officers arrived, they expected a misunderstanding, perhaps a family dispute, maybe some strange religious argument. Instead, they found two men who openly admitted to murder. The father and son calmly explained that they had killed 3 members of their family: their wife, their mother, 2 daughters. They showed no remorse, no guilt, no sadness. According to them, the killings had been necessary. The younger man claimed he possessed special spiritual authority. He believed he had been chosen to guide others towards salvation. The father completely agreed. Both insisted they had done nothing wrong. Police later discovered the bodies exactly where the men described. Every detail matched. The murders were real. The investigation quickly revealed a disturbing reality. For years, the father and son had isolated themselves from society. They had developed bizarre religious beliefs that grew increasingly extreme. Eventually, they created their own private world, a world where ordinary rules no longer applied, a world where murder could be interpreted as mercy. Family members who questioned them became enemies. Anyone who disagreed with their beliefs was considered spiritually dangerous. Most disturbing of all was the influence the young man had over everyone around him. Despite being barely in his 20s, he had somehow convinced his father that he possessed divine wisdom. The father obeyed him completely, and Sophia appeared trapped within that same belief system. Investigators couldn't understand how a teenage girl could react so calmly after learning her mother and sisters had been murdered. Psychologists later suggested she had spent years under intense psychological control. A lifetime of manipulation had changed her perception of reality. The trial attracted attention across Spain. Newspapers covered every detail. People packed courtrooms hoping to understand what had happened. But the deeper experts looked into the case, the stranger it became. Psychiatrists examined both men. Their conclusions shocked everyone. Multiple doctors diagnosed severe mental illness. The father appeared consumed by paranoid delusions. The son displayed signs of grandiose religious psychosis, but genuinely believed their actions had been justified. To them, the murders weren't crimes. They were sacred duties. As a result, the court ruled that they could not be held criminally responsible in the same way as ordinary offenders. Instead of prison, they were committed to a secure psychiatric institution. For many people, that decision felt unsatisfying. 3 innocent people were dead, yet the killers would never serve traditional prison sentences. Still, the law recognized that their minds were profoundly damaged. The case slowly faded from public memory, at least for a while. Years passed, then decades. Most people assumed the story was over. They were wrong. Sometime in the early 1990s, both men vanished. They escaped from psychiatric custody. Just like that. One day they were there. The next day they weren't. Authorities launched searches. International alerts were issued. Investigators followed leads across multiple countries. Nothing worked. The father disappeared, the son disappeared. Neither was ever officially found. To this day, nobody knows exactly what happened to them. Some believe they died years ago, others believe they assumed new identities. A few suspect they continued living together somewhere far from public attention. No one knows. And then there was Sophia, the girl who had stood in that hallway, the girl who heard the confession, the girl who lost her mother and sisters in a single day. After the trial, she gradually disappeared from public life. Reports suggested she left Spain. Others claimed she entered a religious community. Some said she changed her name entirely, but confirmed information became almost impossible to find. Her final years remain a mystery. What makes this case so disturbing isn't just the violence, it's the conversation. Imagine opening your front door. Imagine hearing someone calmly admit to multiple murders. Imagine realizing they don't think they have done anything wrong. No panic, no remorse, no fear, only certainty. The doctor later said that moment never left him. Not the confession, not the police investigation, not even the trial. What haunted him was the way everyone spoke, as if discussing an ordinary family matter, as if 3 murders were nothing more than another item on a checklist. And maybe that's the most frightening part of all. Not the killers, not the escape, not even the missing girl, but the realization that sometimes evil doesn't arrive screaming. Sometimes it arrives quietly, knocks on your front door, and asks to see someone.